Hello everybody, welcome back to another live stream here. Today we are back for the 12th round of the IRT event and we're back for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the final round of this event right here around Bahrain here. And of course we saw last week that the championship was wrapped up for Relentless after a very exciting Grand Prix around Zandvoort, which saw Seep grab the win for IRT ahead of JR for the ESW team, and in third place it is BT with for CPI getting a podium here on this. I think after a little while, after a little break from the F1 game, he returned and got a podium a couple of weeks after for CPI. So it's going to be an exciting ending to the season. Of course, the championship is already wrapped up with Relentless taking first with a dominant advantage, so they are just looking to go out on a bang here for this season. Ahead or behind them is NRL in second place. If you get the standings right now quickly, it's NRL with 157 points, 23 points ahead of LFR, who are in the chase for that second place still, but that's going to be a very difficult task, but never say never here. But it's certainly a exciting battle for second, but not as exciting for the battle between 4th and 7th, as there's only 12 points in between Esports Wales, BNRA, IRT and CPI, with ESW leading the way with 92 points, BNRLRA with 90 points, IRT with 89 points, so one less than BNRA, and then CPI with 80 points, but they're still very much in the mix. If they can get a good result, then you never know. As we see, Commental spinning if in turn 1. He was a late replacement after 2 of the Relentless drivers could not make it today. So Reservoir and Commentalist are driving for them today. But the battle for 4th is certainly going to be a exciting one. Who's going to go out on top here? And then we've got Evora in final place. They've got a interesting substitute here with Tom Rowe, the PSGL. I think, is he a champion? I'm pretty sure he is in F2. So a very interesting substitute right here, a one-off only, and he sets a 25.8 straight away to set a first lap of the session, which is a very good lap there, I must add. But I'm expecting nothing less from a PSGL F2 driver with his teammate with a 26.1, so it shows that even the F4 drivers can be quite fast here, as they're 1 and 2 at the moment, with both ESW drivers now in 3rd and 4th place, but there's still plenty of guys needing to set a lap here. Axelinho making a performance for NRL in 6th place right now, but he did set his lap on the medium tires, so he's not quite on the pace yet, because the medium tires of course are a bit slower. Pitstra was originally Gritstra, was driving for DRA, but now making his debut in this league for IRT after making the transfer. Also, BT actually got faster, so Tom Rowe, I think you're a bit washed, mate, because BT has taken pole position at the moment with also a 25.8. Taking P1, but can he convert that into a win potentially? Rutger going into P4 with a 26.1, so it feels quite close at the moment. At the back, also Breathfire goes into P11 on the medium tires at 27.8, so again another washed driver at the back there, driving for Relentless. Doesn't surprise me. Marty has retired, unfortunately. I think he just crashed out in turn. I think he hit the exit curve. If quickly go on board with Ruti Gullit, who's now going towards this sector. You see the car on the left. Hey, you see, yeah, he just hit the left side of the barrier right there. So, fortunate for Marty. So he's going to be potentially, most likely, he's going to be starting at the back of the field, which is not ideal. But then again, there's still, you never know what could happen with the drivers behind. They could also be as now Pitstar is coming to the line now. Not sure why he's doing another run here on those set of tires, but he feels like he can get more time out of it if he does gain a 10th then he will go into third place for IRT. His teammate, of course, has crashed out just now, like we were talking about it. So hopefully he can bring out the performance up for IRT. As now BNRA have got a replacement driver. They had both Dave and Abenvet now in driving for them. Or us, Marcus and sure someone else could not make it, unfortunately. As we see a CPI driver, I think that is BT going into the pits. Or yeah, it's BT. So BT and Abenvet are teammates for the session. Of course, oh, apologies for that, my voice is slightly going. Christ almighty. Apologies, guys. What I want to say is, of course, with the online cars, it shows that you cannot select your teammate for the moment. So drivers gonna be in different grid slots. So you have to watch out for whoever is each other's teammates, so you can see when you need to pit and who's your teammate. Hopefully they address that for next game, as the pitsters indeed found some time, about 2:10. So good performance from him right now in third place. About 2:10 still away from BT and Tom Robo, but certainly still very high up in third place. As most of the guys set a lap so far. Long towards the line now, 26-1 it will be, at 26-2. So into 6th place he goes, just ahead of JR and about the 10th behind Rudy Gullit. So good job from Leven. Certainly think he can move up some more positions here, but with Axelinho, Dave, Resify, Commentalis, Sick Boy and Indigo, the F9 champion in PSGL, certainly able, should certainly have the potential to move up plenty of places still. So it's going to be interesting to see how this qualifying session is going to pan out. Of course, with Tom Robo now strongest lap now for the Evora team, the one of performance. Into turn 1 he goes, taking a slow apex third gear into it. So the motor driver used second gear, is actually making a slight mistake there on the exit of turn 2. But it seems to be alright so far. Taking a third gear here, certainly knows which gears to use, and he's about 20,000 up on his time right now, so decent time so far. Of course he did not have the greatest exit, but still shows that he's improving. So there's still time in there for in sector 1. Going into turn 8 right now. Didn't lock up, so that's good for him right now. Had a decent exit, but so a decent lap from Tom Robo so far, and certainly looking forward to getting pole position right now. Or what can other teams do and respond to that this performance so far. Going to the right-hander right now, and he's about a 10th up, so he's gained a 10th, which will certainly move him ahead of BT. Can he get a good final corner here and move ahead of BT? Certainly, he will miss slightly the apex right there, but a decent enough exit there, which will see him get pole position with a 25.6 right there. So gained another 10 here, but there's certainly more time in there for him. But what can the other teams do now? As BT is actually going out lap right now, so he saw the beginning of Tom Robo's lap and certainly saw that he was improving on his time, and now on his out lap, hopefully he's going to respond as well. Pitstraw doing the same and also looking to respond here for IRT. With Gilla also improving now, going towards the line right now, about half a tenth up on his time, and he does improve, gets him up into third place here. Good lap from Gilla right there. JR has gone into P4, did the same time as Pitstra right there, so certainly sees how close the field really is. So good lap there from JR, hoping to score enough points for ESW so they can claim that 4th place in the Constructors' Championship here, which is certainly not an easy task with such a competitive grid here. But JR is driving a really good season. Got P2 last week around Zandvoort, and certainly back on the pace for today with some really competitive drivers here, so good job from him, driving a good season. Ruud Gullit has backed off on his lap, so certainly just waiting and going for a second run on a set of tires. Let's see what he's able to do. Oh, now he's waiting. I think he saved his ERS going towards the final corner right now. Going on board with a different car. I think, yeah, Gilles on an outlap. BT, on board with BT. Now, what can he do against Tom Robo here? And he has gained about 20,000. Same as Tom Robo into sector 1. So, times are really similar. He has gone purple, it says. So, let's see what he can do in the middle sector. Tom Robo was pretty good in the middle sector. So, let's see what he will do in this middle sector, running slightly wide, so not an ideal exit right now from BT, so certainly still some time to find for that final run in this qualifying session, because there's still 5.5 minutes left of this qualifying session, so plenty of time for another run here. Going through the long right hander, and it does gain about a 10th, but I don't think it will be enough to grab that pole position right now from Tom Robo. Going towards the final corner right now. Can he get a good exit? Hitting the curb slightly here, going towards the line right now. BT, what can he do? Will he match Tom Robo? He does, very close down there with about 23 thousandths the difference. So one corner, if he can get a better exit there, then certainly he's still in the mix for that pole position. And now Pitstra is going towards the line right now. He's about 2 tenths off, which will see him promote up to P3, that's for sure, and he does with a 25.81, so good time from there, about another 2 tenths still off of BT and Tom Robo, but P3 is still a very good position to be in, as Ruud Gullit has quickly taken that P3 spot away with a 25.745, so good lap from Ruud Gullit right there. That back off lap certainly worked out for him. Our Sick Boys in P8 right now with a 26.2, a thousandth ahead of Nathan, but Wood is on a lap right now in the final corner. Again, seeing Nathan going through the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Going towards the line, and he does a 25.9 up to P5. So he was just behind Sick Boy and now up to P5. So good job from Nathan. Certainly in the mix and still able to make that final run. As now Dave is going towards pits after being about 8 seconds down, so he's not on a representative lap. As now Colin Mason is on a lap there. Is he getting a slipstream right there for Ruud Gullit? No, he's not. A cheeky little bit of slipstream, yep. But now Colin Mason going through the corner. You can clearly see he doesn't take the corners as aggressive as other drivers do. Not braking as late as he can, just being very careful. And he's about 2 tenths up right now, which will promote him up to P11 potentially if he can nail that final corner here. But Mentalist certainly has time in the back to move into that top 10 here. As now Colin Mason going towards the line right now. Can he be anywhere near Dave potentially? And he is ahead of Mentalist at least. So P11, the first driver on that alternative strategy right there for the ESW team, so that's not a bad place to be. Interestingly, both relentless drivers outside the top 10, especially seeing them dominate the entire season. It is really weird to see them both outside the top 10 here, but never count them out, as Recify has gone on its outlap right now. Interestingly, LFR Indigo has not managed to complete a lap time right now, who's literally just started his final run of this qualifying session now. And if he doesn't set lap time, he will be behind Marty, who has DNFs early on in the session. Not ideal for him, but the PSG F9 championship certainly knows what to do here and trying to score as many points as possible, with NRL not being as high up. And Indigo has done a 27.7 first sector, running a bit wide and invalidating on this lap. So certainly I think he has enough fuel, but this will cost him a bit of the tires. So struggling quite a lot here in this qualifying session. It's not been a great session for him right now, as we're now gonna switch on board with JR here, starting his final run for this qualifying session into turn 1. Slightly missing the apex right there, but it's all about having a good exit for this turn. Going towards turn 3 and 4, or turn 3 just past. Jeez. Going into turn 4 right now, running slightly wide, but having a solid exit. And he has about matched his first sector here, but there's 30 more time in there in the second sector and third sector. But let's see what he can do here. So now quickly go on board with Tom Robo. So of course he does a 27.6 first sector, so Indigo was not far away from that. So if he can match that lap, then he certainly should be around in the top 6. But of course you need to complete a lap in order to be around the top 6. Now Tom Robo coming to turn 8. Last time he had not the greatest exit, and certainly doesn't have a great exit once again. So this brings an opportunity to BT, who's about to start his lap turn right now. Switching on board to JR, and he's about 2.5 tenths up right here, which is a good time. So if he completes this lap, he should be around Rudy Gullit. Certainly a good time will bring him there, and he does it 25.8. So actually by Pitstra lost a little bit of time in the final sector, but P5 is still a good position to be in. Now going to go on board with Indigo with a 27.7, so about a 10th of Tom Robo. So if you can match those times, essentially run very wide there. So will that be in foundation? He certainly cut the corner right there. So probably have to lift slightly, as actually Axelinho is going to P4 with a 25.7. Tom Robo has pitted, so didn't improve, and BT is improving for CPI. BT finding some time in the first sector, having a better exit in turn 8, so BT looking on it right now for this qualifying session. But can he keep that advantage going into the second sector here? What can BT do? And he's down on this time. He is not improving, so this is not good for BT, who found some time. Was actually Indigo's found some time, but of course he did track extend there, so there might be a penalty coming towards there. We saw that track extension right there, but Indigo has taken pole position right now for NFR, as BT has improved but not beaten Tom Robo, but it's up to P2, so still a decent position to be in. And Rudy Gullit is not improving, Axelinho is not selling a lap time, Pitstra is still on a lap, and he's about more than half tenth up, so that will bring him around Rudy Gullit and Axelinho. This could be 2 positions gained there for Pitstra if he can get a good final corner right there. Doesn't run too wide, good exit there towards the line. Pitstra goes. Can he be anywhere near Tom Robo potentially? He doesn't. He is very close, but he has beaten Rudy Gullit and Axelinho. So P4 there for Pitstra. Very good lap right there. And that will run out the grid if Dave does not improve, and he does not. So it's Indigo with the pole position right there, with some interesting lines right there. In turn 8 he did track extend there, so there might be a report coming in about that. Of course he did track extend, but we won't talk about it much on the stream. We'll talk about it. The stewards will be aware of that. Actually, did he improve by 1,000 there? Did his AI? No, he did not. Apologies for that. As BT is now in second place, Tom Robo has gone into P3 for Evora. Pitstra up to P4, Rudy Gullit P5, Axelinho P6, JR P7, Nathan P8, Sigboy P9 on his debut for NRL in this competition, Gille in P10, Apenvet in P11, Commanderless P12, Dave P13, Colin R. Mason in P14, Restify in P15, and Marty, the only driver who DNF'd in this qualifying session, in P16. Also, you have 24 people watching right now on the stream. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. The race is now arriving any moment now. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to this race. Let me know your race predictions. let me know your race predictions, and hopefully you can get them correct, as we're in for a very exciting Grand Prix. As we're now here for the Bahrain Grand Prix, it is of course a dry race. Don't see a lot of rain races here in Bahrain, as it's of course a desert. But yeah, you never know with the F1 game. Everything can be thrown in your face by coped masters, but we're here for a standard dry race here. As we're now waiting for the players to load in before we can see the cars and which tires everyone has picked for this Grand Prix. It's going to be a standard one-stop strategy from soft to medium. You can go on the hard tires from lap 2, I'm pretty sure, lap 1, easily make it till the end, but I think everyone's going to be picking a soft medium or a medium soft strategy. But we saw plenty of times in this competition, we saw a lot of different strategies right here. But now getting the tires up quickly, and here we go indeed, like we predicted, everyone on the softs and on those medium tires. Being P10 is not ideal because you're the last driver who must start on the tire you qualified on, so that's the soft tire. But then the guys behind are all on the medium tires here, hopefully to stretch the stint and be better later on in the race here. And of course everyone in the top 10 is on those soft tires, because there's a lot of pace difference between the mediums and soft tires in qualifying. But in the race, it wouldn't surprise me if you see guys like Abenfet, Commentalis, Dave, Colonel Mason move up to the grid and overtake these soft runs after lap 4 or 5, when these soft tires are really starting to degrade and drop in terms of performance. But of course these soft runs in those early laps are trying to clear those medium runs of the DRS, so that they can use those tires to advantage here. And of course the track position to the max. Hopefully everyone's looking forward to the race. I'm going for a Ruud Gullit win. I think he's gonna grab that victory here. He's been searching for it for a little bit, with Nathan in second, starting P8, so he's gonna do a little bit of a climb right there, I predict. And then Axelinho for NRL in P3 here. I don't think Tom Robo will be on the podium, because there might be a late safety car, and I think the drivers I just named will take full advantage of it. But I think everyone has certainly got pace to fight for the victory, as now the cars are starting to line up for the Grand Prix here. On board with Kirsa in P4. Good qualifying right there, so hopefully he can use that to advantage. Of course everyone is now being taken off by AI, but next year you never know, you could see drivers lining up themselves. But now we're loading in for this Grand Prix here on board with Indigo here, as it's 5 lights. And that's out the way we go. It seems to be a very good start there from Tom Robo here. It's got a very good launch here, using the ERS, overtaking BT already here into turn 1. As indeed overtaken, as we see a car off, I think, I'm pretty sure. Did we see a car off? I'm not too sure, no yellow flags at the moment. But it's Indigo who's actually kept the lead right there, with Pinster up to P3 alongside with BT right there. Good start for everyone so far, clean start as well. And it's indeed, actually Tom Robo has used in the ERS and overtaken Indigo here, so not ideal start for Indigo here, as actually Marty has spun. Hasn't picked up damage, but unfortunately for him, as actually Nathan has fallen all the way back. I'm pretty sure he does. He is the one with damage, so the driver you predicted in P2 has gotten damage, so he's gonna have to make a pit stop here. And this is not good for CPI, who are trying to move up the standings. this is not great for CPI who trying to move up in the standings, but this is certainly not helping out. But with BT in P3, it's looking very good for them right now. And with Pitstra in P4 and then JR for ESW in P5, you can never know what's gonna happen with the standings right there. Because if Pitstra overtakes BT, then IRT are in 4th place for the moment. So it's the math someone has to calculate in the chat as Tom Rober sets the fast lap of this Grand Prix here. As now indeed Sigbo is actually going into the pits as well. I'm pretty sure he's the one who's picked up a little bit of damage as well, and he did. Marty's continuing and didn't pick up damage, so thankfully didn't hit the barrier. But yeah, he's got front wing damage as Nathan is just a grid slot ahead of him, also for a new front wing here. As now we see Tom Robo defending really hard there from Indigo right here. As we now just gonna get the telemetry up right now quickly. Or the interval. Oh, let me quickly switch that off, as we don't want engineers to see that. With now everyone pretty much in the DRS train of each other, trying to follow each other and just stay within DRS. And like we predicted, the soft runners try to pull away from the medium runners, and Apefet is 1.3 behind. But their race will come later on, as of course the soft runners are in the best shape right now for this day and age. But the medium will come later on in the race. After lap 5 you'll see the medium runners starting to catch up. As we got a spinner here, it's Recify. Recify is spun for Relentless in P13. I'm not sure Relentless are happy with this performance. I think they have to send him back to IRT, where he won't spin as much. But no, this is not ideal for Recify, who's now 5 seconds behind, and now it has got Marty in his DRS and Slipstream, so not been ideal for Recify, who was a late substitute right here. As now on board with Tom Robo, controlling the pace so far, but very closely behind is Indigo here for LFR, trying to get the win. Of course, he did track stand quite a lot in qualifying, but hopefully he can keep it clean and not pick up any penalties right here. And now both BT and Pitstra are falling very close behind. It seems like BT has got a little bit of has got less pace than the cars ahead, and Pitstra is potentially trying to find a way past here. Same for JR, who's with JR trying to overtake potentially, but Rutegil also in the mix with a lovely Senna helmet. I must add. Gotta admire it, as actually he's got a pretty good exit. JR didn't have the greatest exit right there, so must maybe use a little bit of ERS to defend against Rutegil. But Rutegil seems to be very aggressive right now, pushing on the stars, as Maltese picked up the first penalty of the session. 3 seconds, of course. If you pick up 3 warnings, you will get a 3-second penalty, so it's not worth cutting corners, as you got Indigo taking the lead right here from Tom Robo here for this Bahrain Grand Prix. So good job from him right now. What can BT actually do? Who's the driver who was very close in qualifying as well. And hopefully he can stick within the mix, as Pitstra actually run very wide there. That might be a warning right there, so he's got to be aware of that one. Of course, you don't want to pick up 3-second penalties with the field being so close to each other. As Nathan set the fast lap right here, he's a very long way behind, but if he sticks within this race, then you never know what could happen. There could always be a safety car. These soft runners will start running out of grip very soon, as we see a little bit of track limits right there. I'm pretty sure Indigo once again using the maximum of the track right there. But if, of course, one of these soft runners potentially spin in the corner coming up right now, then you never know. There could be a safety car and you're back in the race. So never ever give up in league racing, because you can always score points out of nowhere. Right now it's looking very good for LFR, who's scoring a lot of points compared to NRL. So NRL must move up some position, and with Sick Boy having front wing damage, it's up to Axelino trying to move up as many positions as can compared to LFR, because right now I think LFR are beating them in the standings right here. So for LFR it's ideal to get us defend as hard as they can, but also just stay potentially pulled away from the field. So actually BT is nearly alongside Tom Robo here, so interesting race right now, especially with Tom Robo making an appearance right here and BT very close to him right now, and everyone in the DRS train. And then you could potentially see in a couple of laps time Upfet catching up together with Commentalist here, right here. So this race is very interesting right now. Who's gonna go for an undercut potentially to make a difference to the field? Of course, having an undercut, you can use those fresh tires and then use just the fresh tires to get ahead of the cars who are you in battle with. So it's gonna be interesting who's gonna go for the undercut. I expect the first cars to come in around lap 7. I think lap 6 is very early to stretch those medium tires till the end, unless you're going for the hard tires. But I expect the first cars to come in lap 7. I think that's the safest option to go for. But you can also see potentially cars coming in at lap 8 or something, or lap 11. Stretch the tires further, and that will provide you more grip, as Tom Robo is taking back the lead right here for Evora. Now BT has actually made a slight mistake for this, so this could be an opportunity for Pitstra, who could potentially move ahead, but there's also cars behind the JR and Ruud Gillet. Now Ruud Gillet going around the outside of JR, braking slightly later here than JR, but JR keeping position right here and sticking with it. Of course, he does know back of his mind potentially that LFR are in a better position than NRL, and if he does go for a move and potentially crash out, then that will really cost LFR quite a lot. I actually go for the move right there, slightly hit in JR right there. Just gotta be aware of that to not pick up any damage. As you see BT really struggling with ERS right now, trying to follow Indigo right here, who's also just sticking within the 1 second window of Tom Robo. And Pitstra is doing the same. Higher ERS than BT, that's for sure, but yeah, it's not ideal right now, as cars ahead have a lot more ERS to use than those cars in 3rd and 4th. But like we said just a couple of laps ago, Aberfed is lap 6 right now, and he is starting to close up back to the soft runners who are in P8 right now. Jilla is the lowest soft run at the moment in the DRS train here, but you can clearly see Apple is starting to close that gap a little bit together with Commentalist, working together to catch up to these cars ahead. And so actually BT has lost DRS to the cars ahead, so didn't want to use too much ERS, but now has actually got no ERS left and has lost that advantage. So this could be a good opportunity for Pitstra to move ahead of BT here and help see IRT move up the standings, up to P4 potentially. But now JR is also now 1 second window still, so yeah, BT is really struggling. You can clearly see he's running wide, not getting much protection out of his tires anymore. But Redsfire has picked up a penalty 5 seconds behind Marty right there, so Redsfire having a shocking afternoon at the moment, but there's still opportunities for him later on in the race potentially, but it's not going well for him right now. Marty is pulled away 5 seconds from Redsfire, so he's doing quite well. So now Colin Mason and Dave are both in a battle. I'm not sure how Dave overtook him, but he's made the move past, so a good job to him. Now Pitstra potentially gonna line up BT. Actually BT and both Pitstras also both gone into pits. Both decided to go for the undercut, trying to get to the back of Tom Robo and Indigo. Can Pitstra have a good stop? It certainly does. And then BT, will he be jumped by Pitra? No, he's not. He's still stuck ahead, so he's reacted to the Pitra's reacted to what BT does. But let's see where these drivers will end up compared to JR now, who's now promoted up to P3 and Ruud Gullit up to P4. As actually Dave and Colin Armason are in an awesome battle together here. Switching a lot of places right now. So let's keep a watch on this battle for the moment. But all the battling they're doing, they're losing time to Marty, who's now closing the gap from last lap to from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. So Marty's showing a lot better pace than these cars right here. And hopefully Marty can catch up a little bit, so he can close to the back of Commentalis and Apfet, who's not making the sort of ground I was expecting to. The medium tires of course getting worse as well, but the drop off on the soft was higher, so I expected for him to close up the gap, but it doesn't seem that both him and Commentalis have the pace at the moment. And the soft runners are really managing the tires right now well. So as Ruud Gullit and Gilles got into the pits, so all the third strategy coming out here is actually Indigo and Tom Robo had decided to stay out. Of course they drive in PSGL and they certainly know the strategy very well here, and they're just gonna manage the tires right now very well, and this will save them laps on the medium tires, so this is a good job from them, just saving up ERS together. Actually Tom Robo has got low ERS. What can JR do? Can he potentially catch up to the back of these drivers right here and get within that 1 second window once again? As Pitstra has gone past Recify here. Recify already a pit stop behind these guys right here. As BT is now trying to catch up to Marty, setting a purple first sector, 4 tenths quicker, so those fresh medium tires clearly working out for the better right now. As Axelinho is following JR right here. The bad part for Ruud Gullit, who's gone for the undercut on Indigo and Tom Robo, is that they're behind Recify right here. And Recify is holding them up, so Pitstra and BT can move 1 second clear of them. So this is good stuff from BT and Pitstra, who's gone for the undercut. But it's still a very long race to go here. As we now see the top 3 coming into the pits, actually the top 4 coming into the pits. So it's Apfet taking the professional lead, with Commentalis still on the DRS window here, but here come the pit stop strategies right here. As it's Indigo who's now ahead still of Tom Robo here. But let's see where BT is compared to Indigo here. They decided to go for a 2-lap undercut, and they decided, and the undercut is certainly worked out as now BT has taken the lead, with Pitstra going around the outside of Indigo here, side by side, and Pitstra taking better of it, but the undercut has certainly worked for BT. Who's now in a professional P1 right now, so good job from him right there. And Pitstra now professional P3, so Tom Robo is gonna find some, has got to find a way past now to stick within the 1 second window of Indigo. And BT is really showing good pace on those mediums compared to the softs, as he's nearly clearing Indigo for the 1 second window, using a lot of ERS, and Indigo has got a bit of use. But right now BT has got 1 second clear here, as actually Indigo using his ERS and now within the 1 second window once again. Davis track center quite a bit, trying to follow Colin R. Mason right here. These drivers battling for pretty much the entire race right now. 7 seconds behind the first medium runners who start on those mediums. And all the time they're battling, they're losing to Marty, who's doing a 31.1 right now, and BT doing a 29.5, so really good pace right there from him. As now the DRS range well and truly alive still, with Tom Robo in P9, maybe falling 1 second clear of Pitstra right here. Not having good pace right now, as Ruud Gullit might be looking to go way past here in a Evora sandwich, I must add right now. So it's gonna be interesting, that's for sure. But of course, BT and Pitstra must save the tires more than Indigo Tom Robo, who decided to stretch their tires 3 laps longer and didn't even lose that much time. So I think those 3 laps were really impressive. As actually Indigo is running very wide right there, so this could be an opportunity for Pitstra to overtake him, and he's actually letting Pitstra go through. So can Pitstra still catch up to the back of BT and stick within the 1 second window? So interesting tactics right there from Indigo, who's now in a 1v1 matchup again versus Tom Robo. So very, very interesting race right there. As now Marty's clearly closer and closer to the back of Dave and Colonel Mason, who both drivers are just losing a lot of time compared to Apefet and Commentalist, who are literally just in their own battle right now. As now Colonel Mason has decided to go down the inside and make the move stick. And Pitstra is still in the 1 second window, and BT struggling with ERS. So this is very good stuff from Pitstra right there. And BT is struggling quite a bit, it seems like, on ERS, trying to clear Pitstra of the ERS. But clearly it seems just not to work out, as other guys can of course use ERS as well. I think everyone's starting to struggle on ERS a bit, just stick within the 1 second window right there. But it's such a challenge, of course. But let's see what is gonna happen, as JR has lost a couple of positions right there. He was ahead of Rudy Gullit right there, but now he's behind Gillen and Axelinho. So it's not been a good couple of laps for JR right there, who's now lost ground. And this is not good for ESW, who are in 4th place. But with CPI scoring good points at the moment, and IRT scoring good points, and Evora potentially overtaking them, this could really benefit them. And BNRA are right now still 1 of 4, but of course both drivers still have to make a pit stop right there. So let's see what's gonna happen to them. Of course they will lose a lot as well if they keep going. Was ratified because of a 3 second penalty, sorry. Apologies for the burp, I do apologize for that. As Colonel Mason is going for a medium hard strategy, he thinks he can't stretch those medium tires any longer, and going for a yeah, he's going for a medium hard strategy. Interesting strategy right there. As Tom Robo has gone past they're side by side actually, both drivers side by side. Indigo and Tom Robo here. Very good battle right there, but it's Indigo still staying ahead. It was Tom Robo making the move, being very aggressive right there, but Indigo defending very hard on the inside and getting his elbows out right there. But all the battling they're doing is getting BT and Pitstra just to get the Manchester tires a lot better. And now Marty is now within the DRS window of Dave, but also BT is now in the DRS window of Marty, so the games are well and truly coming out right there. Now Marty trying to find a rhythm right here, trying to line up Dave potentially into turn 1, trying to overtake him before BT overtakes him. So let's see what's gonna happen right there. We're now on board with BT. Let's see a different perspective right there, with Marty now well and truly in the DRS, BT using a bit of ERS, but not able to overtake, as Marty now using the DRS going alongside Dave and going for the move down the inside there for IRT up the P3 right now, sticking ahead of Dave. And now BT is very close to the back of Dave, who's actually battling back against Marty, but thinks better of it. As actually Pitstra and Tom Robo both make contact, and Pitstra picking up the penalty right there, so he lost a couple of positions right there to Tom Robo. I think they went 3 wide there. It's actually, it goes down the inside there on Tom Robo here as both drivers make contact. So in pit stop lost a couple of positions and got a penalty right there. So not good right now. Oh, it's actually BT has spun. BT has spun. BT has unfortunately spun and lost the professional P1 right now. I'm not sure what happened here. It looked like he got tapped on the rear here. I'm not sure from who. It might have been Tom Robo here. Potentially here, but who knows, but at the moment it is Tom Robo in the professional P1 right now, as BT has been taken out there or spun on his own. I don't think he did, because otherwise he would not have spun like that. But now Tom Robo has gone down instead of Dave, making the move stick, and Marty is now nearly cleared Dave of the DRS, so good job for him right there. Can Indigo follow him? Can Petra also follow him? So let's see what's gonna happen as Ruud Gullit now going down the inside as well, trying to get a move pass for LFR, with Petra alongside him, getting the elbows out, squeezing him off track right there, as Ruud Gullit has got off track and now alongside has overtaken, oh my goodness, as Jill has now moved ahead for Evora. As now both drivers making contact with each other, it's Ruud Gullit and oh, I know what happened to Jill. Jill was just alongside him, and now Petra is up to oh my goodness, what is going on right here? Insane battling happening right here. Axelino's actually lost position to JR right there, who's trying to find a way past, as Marty's now being passed by Tom Robo. Very interesting battle right there. Very interesting battle right there and right now. Hopefully Marty can follow in the DRS to see what can happen. But a lot of interesting battles right there. This could potentially go to the stewards and to see if they can sort this out. I'm not sure what happened to all the incidents, but of course we will see after the race. But now switching our focus back to this race. Can Gillen make the move past Dave, who's trying to stay out until the soft strategy, which is about 4 or 5 laps away, and he certainly makes the move stick. Good job for him right now. Marty's sticking with it. Marty, hopefully he can stick with it as long as he can. As he spun, Marty has spun on the curb right there. Unfortunately lost ground right there. Totally jinxed it for him at the moment, with Pitstra now up to P8 for Pitstra now in P8. Hopefully he can get alongside Dave and overtake him, so he can follow Gille, Ruud Gullit, Indigo and Tom Robo here. We are now trying to catch up to Apevet and Cometalis in the lead, who's still sticking together in the DRS window. Cometalis has got low ERS and Apevet has got decent pace there, I must add. And now Pits has gone down the inside. Now switching bolt. Hopefully Pizza can catch up to Gille again, because otherwise he's gonna lose so much time on the straights right there. Otherwise, yeah, he should lose so much momentum right there. He doesn't have lots of ERS right there. But now JR is making the move stick as well, up to P8 right now. But Axelino thinks better of it as well, but he's also thinking better of it again, but didn't make the move stick, as actually Davis getting his elbows out right there. You can clearly see that Apevet and Competitive just got really good pace, as Tom Robo on a lot of fresh tires are just not closing the gap as quickly as they can. As they, of course, these are battling right here, but it still provides that Commentalis and Apevet have got really good race pace right here. And it will be interesting to see what they can do on the soft tires. I think it's personally better to keep Commentalis in the DRS potentially and get him alongside you, and then just work together, gain as much time as you can here. Honestly, we can clearly see Commentalis barely losing any time compared to his personal best, so he's doing a really good race right now, and he should be joining around P12 around where Marty is. Of course he did spin and he still has to make another pit stop right there, so it's going to be interesting as Pitstar's nearly closed that gap to Gille right there. As actually both drivers making their pit stop right now. A bit early for the soft tires, but proving their tire management has been very decent this race. Let's see what they can do. Of course they're not on the same box thankfully, so let's see what they can do right now. Going to a set of soft tires. As actually Pitstar is going to the pits. Pitstar decided I'm going for a set of new mediums. He thinks he can't stretch those mediums till the end. Of course he did go for an undercut, but certainly didn't prove to have worked out. So it is actually them now in P8 and 9. So, and they're not actually that far away compared to BT. So these drivers are gonna be one to watch out for. These drivers are certainly gonna be one to watch out for. As now they can use those fresh soft tires to advantage, catch up to BT and potentially Axelinho and JR. But good news for JR is that if they keep this going, they will secure 4th in the standings. Actually, Evora might do it because they are 1st and 4th right now, so this could then definitely benefit them. And LFR scoring good points as well. This could get them into a 2nd for in the standings. But this race is far from done yet. As you see Dave track extending right there, really track extending right there, so do not recommend doing that. But with Pitstar going for a 2nd stop, I'm not sure why he didn't go for a set of soft tires. As now Indigo is taking the lead once again from Tom Robo, as Sigbo's got a 3-second penalty down in P15, so he got damage in lap 1 and certainly just did not have the race pace here to provide and to catch up to the back of the field, but it's just so difficult for him as well after being so far down. Well, Indigo is taking the lead once again. What can Rudy really do? I think the best call for him is just be defensive, because they've got 2nd place in the standings pretty much sorted right now, so let's see what they can do. Now, revving out this engine pretty much track extending a little bit, so that could be a warning. Not sure how many warnings he is on right now. And with BT's really struggling and Apfit really catching up together with Commentalis, it's going to be interesting to see where they end up. Of course, I think drivers like Marty and all the guys at the back just hoping for a safety car. Same for Nathan, who's been at the back of the grid because of that damage. Just so unfortunate for him. But he's nearly in the points, and Marty still have to make a pit stop right there. Could potentially give him a point. And hopefully him and Pitstar can work together. Nathan low on ERS. Can they both now catch up to the back of Colin Armazen, who's actually just ahead of him actually, so who's on the hard tires. So Pitstar now has overtaken Nathan and now trying to overtake Colin Armazen, and then to the back of his teammate who's still having to make a pit stop right there. So Apfit's nearly in the DRS of BT here. Of course, these drivers have to stretch their soft tires another 10 laps. It's going to be very difficult, but they were really good on those medium tires. Let's see. Now he's nearly in the DRS window right there. pretty much doing the same lap as Commentator set the fastest lap there for Relentless. Now really close to the back of Apfet. Is he going for the move? He decided not to go for the move as he's thinking better of it, as Marty's now going into the pits here. With the drivers ahead, all the DRS, it's going to be very difficult for these guys to overtake, because ahead, of course, they're on fresh soft tires, but what can those tires do when those cars ahead are all in the DRS battle, DRS train? So it's going to be very difficult how they're going to plan these moves. Now Pitstra is going improvement on time. Now in P10 cleared Colonel Mason off DRS. That's actually Apfet already made the move past BT and now already nearly a second, just a second behind JR here. So if he can push a bit on, then he can still be in the DRS for this or the next DRS straight. So it's going to be interesting how whatever play, and he's already winning the 1 second window. Commentalis is following Apfet right there in the DRS window. So Commentalis is just following Apfet around, and it's clearly working out as he's got a very good thrill and speed. He's catching all the way up the back to Apfet right there, who's potentially saving a bit of ERS. Actually, they're going side by side right now. Apfet running a bit wide. Not the best strategy to do, guys, because the cars ahead are the ones you want to aim for, potentially. So it's going to be interesting with Commentalis now going down the inside there. It certainly looks like he's got better soft tire pace, and he's moved ahead with a very good move there in turn 5. With Apfet now going down the inside, very good battling right there, just going side by side, leaving the room for each other. Good respect between these drivers right there now. As now Commentalis made the move stick and is within the 1 second window of JR, but good luck getting past him as he's 3 tenths behind the next car ahead, which is Axelinho. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he's going to make this move stick, but if anyone can overtake, then it should be Commentalis, who's we literally just saw him on stream making a lovely move down the inside. And this could potentially be good for JR, because if the cars ahead start battling with Commentalis and Apfet, then JR can potentially benefit from it. So let's see. As now actually Commentalis going down the inside there on JR, leaving each other enough room. Commentalis actually thought better of it, but it was a great dive from him right there. Is Commentalis going for it again? He certainly does, but JR defending right now for this battle here. Is Commentalis going to go for it? He does not. He thinks better of it, but certainly Commentalis got really good pace as he's going down this once again, but JR does not want to give up, but looks like he may have to yield, because Commentalis has got a lot more grip right now, and JR leaving the room, both drivers leaving room for each other. You gotta respect that for each other, and now Apfet trying to do the same and trying to move ahead of JR as well. Can they leave each other enough room for each other? Going side by side actually in this turn. What a move that would be for Apfet right there, who's still on the outside of JR. Still leaving each other enough room here. What incredible racing we're seeing right here. And now it's Apfet who's made an incredible move past JR around the outside. JR really got his elbows out, but he unfortunately had to yield right there. But gotta respect that, racing against each other here. And there's still 6 laps to go, but what can Commentalis do as he's nearly gone down the inside right there. JR making contact right there with Apfet, who's now in the shield of BT, looking behind there. So it's going to be interesting to see what Commentalis can do. As now Gilles run a bit wide right there. Apfet doesn't seem to have the same pace as actually, wait, he's slowing down. I'm I'm not sure what happened there to Aperfet. He just slowed down. I think he's got damage, potentially. I think Aperfet might have damage here, because he is clearly dropping a lot of speed right now. Or is he struggling with fuel, potentially? You never know. Let's see this turn right there. Does he have a bit of damage? It looks like he has, but I'm not sure why he's dropping often a lot of pace right there. But let's just see what the cars, what Commentaries can do on those tires. And that's really unfortunate for BNRA, who were in the battle with ESW and could have overtaken them if he was ahead of Commentator still, but seems to be sliding away from him, and certainly he has got a little bit of damage, I think, because otherwise you're not dropping that much time here. So very unfortunate for him right there. Not sure what happened there. As actually it's going a little bit of a moment. Same for Commentalis. So that could promote Gridstra up to P9, which will give Gridstra an extra point, which could move him ahead of BNRA again. So the standings, because of that damage, has really changed. And indeed, he did have a bit of damage. Unfortunate for him, but he could take the fast lap again. So that could grab it away from Relentless. Well, of course, Relentless are very much safe in the championship, of course, by having it claimed last week. But let's see what happens now between the battle for 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and of course for 1st place. As Nathan sets the fast lap down in P16, just really unfortunate for him. But he has spent the fast lap right there, so I'm not sure if Abfed can claim it. But let's see if he can. If he can do it. If Reservoir is also picked up a penalty, he just had an over race already, a bit for the soft tires. Just minimal practice is just really just showed that he's just not got the pace right there. And it's proving to be very tough for him. As Commentalis now very close to the back of Axelinho, but just not enough room to overtake right there. I think he's just saving a bit of ERS potentially, because you know he's got a bit of tire grip, as actually Tom Robo has gone down the inside, decided to go for the move right now on board with the current Evora driver, and he's made the move stick. But thingy Indigo is not gonna give up. Indigo is not gonna give up. Actually, Ruud Gullit down the inside. Ruud Gullit made the move stick, I'm pretty sure, with using a bit of ERS, and he's done it. As Commental is actually up to P4, and actually it's actually Leo and Gilla I think crashed out. It's a VSC right now. Not sure what happened there, but this promotes Commentaries up to P4 on those soft tires, JR to P5 and BT up to P6. So if BT can claim some more positions, then he's certainly in the battle with BNRA and IRT for that 5th place. And JR is really beneficial. Like we just said, he's got to let the Sovereigns go through and let them battle and have let them take the battles and take advantage of that, and it certainly worked out. So big up JR. I think DRS has been enabled once again after the VSC has ended with 3 laps to go after this Grand Prix. I think Axelinho's got a bit of damage. Gilla has for sure. Gilla has lost his front wing, so that's one more position gained by Pistra, and this will promote Dave into the points. I'm not sure what will happen during that incident, but let's see what's gonna happen. As now Indigo, both LFR drivers defending very hard there from Tom Robo here, right there. As now Rudiger has gone defensive. Or actually he has not. As Indigo is trying to find a way past. But what can Commentaries do? What can JR do? What can BT do? BT is really struggling in terms of pace, it seems like. But you never know what can happen with BT here. BT is always one to watch out for. As Commentaries is so close. By the way, he started down in P12, so he's made an incredible comeback drive right there. I think he's certainly up there for my driver of the day, just showing incredible pace right there. And Axelinho has been also pretty good until that incident, unfortunately. But let's see what's gonna happen with 2 laps to go after this. Just been an incredible race right now, once again in the IRT event. Just proving the field is just so close to each other, and just the racing has been really good, and it's been really enjoyable, especially for me as well. As actually commentatorless has run a little bit wide. That could be a track extension, so maybe he's got one away from my penalties. He's got to be aware of that one. As now to Gullit starting lap 28 any moment now, leading the field still ahead of Tom Robo, who's using his ERS now. He is flying the move right there and going alongside and going for the lead right there. Once again, Tom Robo into the lead for Evora at the moment, taking the lead and just seem to have a very good grip still on those tires. Indigo now trying to find a way past potentially again, but what will LFR do? They're now on the hunt for that P1. Of course, they're looking very good for that P2 in the constructors. And having joined late, they did really well to climb up all the way back to NRL. We're on P7 and P9 right now. Colin Mason on the hard tires has lost ground to Marty, and Dave up to P10, who's on the soft tires, so he's in the points once again. Now BT is really losing ground here to Axelinho, and Gritza is also catching up quite a lot, but I don't think he will catch up to him as we're now getting close to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Let's see what's gonna happen right now. Will LFR try to overtake, or are they just gonna stay in second place? If you can go for the win, then you certainly will do it, but it just does seem like he does have the ERS to use, honestly. I think commentators think better of it as well. As he's going defensive, Tom Robo, he certainly knows what to do right there. Indigo in third place as Gilla picks up a penalty in last place right now. Really unfortunate for him with that incident. BT is really falling off right there. He was the one that went for the undercut, and now really paying the dividends right there. Is really circling on those tires. You can clearly see on the tire marks that he's starting to grain a bit. And Axelinho is really catching up quickly. And Pitstar, you never know. You never know. If he keeps closing the gap, then you never know. Indigo is actually weaving right there. Is that a celebration for P2? I'm not really sure, but let's see. As we're now getting to the final meters of this season right there, it looks like Tom Robo is going to take the win. 8 tenths clear, using that ERS to full advantage. I don't think LFR thought about overtaking him, but I think P2 and P3 is still very good result from them. As Tom Robo coming to the final corner right now. Very good drive there from him. Going towards the line right now, it will be Evora it will be Tom Robo taking the win ahead of Ruud Gullit. Indigo hitting the wall. Commentatorless in 4th, JR in 5th, and it will be BT struggling on those tires in P6 ahead of Axelinho, and then Pitstra for IRT in P8. I think they have jumped BNRA just about by 1 point potentially, so good job from them right now. Actually, Sick Boys run out of fuel. Marty down in P12 because he's the more penalties than Colin Mason on the medium hard strategy. About 10th behind Dave, so Dave has actually fallen out the points. As Abefet has actually jumped up to the so I think actually because of that, BNRA has jumped IRT again. So what an incredible race right there. So that is the season. So that is the season done. Commentatorless driver of the day in the game. I'm gonna give it to Commentatorless as well with an incredible drive right there. We see now as you see now celebrating the podium here with an incredible drive that Tom Robo. ESW has claimed P4, I'm pretty sure that's certain right now. But yeah, let's see how the standings are right now. As you're now seeing the end screen, we just want to see the standings quickly. No, please load in. No, I dare you. Oh no. I don't think we're gonna see the end results on the actual screen, but 6 seconds. No, I don't think we'll see the ending screen, unfortunately. What a shame. But anyway, guys, that was the end of the IRT season 1. We'll see you guys back once. Oh, great, just loaded in. We will see you guys back for next season. We'll return for F1 2022, hopefully. And hopefully you guys are looking forward to many more great racing in the IRT Esports event. I'll see you guys later. Have a good evening, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.